Hello. Have you ever wanted to have some unusual pet? For example, lemur or caracal? Top 7 unusual pets. Let's go. Number 7. Pygmy slow loris. Lori is gaining more and more popularity as pets. People can't get enough of expressive eyes and intelligent expression of the face of this animal. A rather large cage is required for keeping Lori in captivity. Lori are nocturnal and rather secretive animals, so there must be a shelter in the cage, in which the lemur will sleep or hide from enemies. If the animal is not one, then conflicts may arise between the lemurs. To avoid hassles for each individual, you need to make a separate house. Lori is quite curious and smart. For this reason, the doors of their home need to be provided with a locking mechanism that the lemur cannot open. Runaway Lori will definitely get into trouble. Despite all these difficulties, in the presence of adequate conditions of maintenance, caring for Lori is not a big deal, and communication with this intelligent forest man gives a lot of emotions. Number 6. Kinkajou. Kinkajou are very popular in South America, Mexico and Brazil. They are a cross between a lemur and a cat, woody inhabitants who are not averse to feasting on rodents. With lemurs, they have the similarity in that they spend most of their lives on trees, going down at night to eat growing fruits, drink floral nectar, or catch some rodent. Some owners say they like touching their plush fur. Smooth, dense, the fur of the kinkajou is truly a plush pleasure. Few of the animals can boast of it. Separately, it is worth noting their tail is like a fifth paw. They, like monkeys, cling to branches, and like a blanket, with which they hide when they sleep. Kinkajou very affectionate and friendly. They love to be stroked and petted. They will be happy to sit on your hands, on your shoulder, and kiss. Although these are nocturnal animals, over time they get used to and adapt to the rhythm of the life of the owner. Number 5. Geneta. Geneta is a small, nimble animal, very similar to a cat in its habits and appearance. It is believed that this mammal is one of the most ancient animals. North Africa and the Atlas Mountains are considered the birthplace of the Geneta. Now the animal settled on a large territory. This dexterous animal, thanks to its short legs, wriggles at the speed of a snake between stones and grass. Leads nocturnal. When the Geneta feels threatened, it raises its fur on end and begins to bite, scratch and release a jet of very odorous fluid. By this she resembles a skunk. The animal is easy to tame. In a calm homely atmosphere, the gente does not smell and is very clean. Homemade gente is usually fed with cat food, poultry and fruit. Life expectancy of a Geneta depends on its living conditions. In the wild, she lives no more than 10 years, and at home about 30. They have few natural enemies. These are leopards, servals, caracals. But the animals are very fast and agile, catch them hard enough. Number 4. Caracal. Caracal is a rather large animal. Its length is about a meter, its height can reach 50 centimeters, and its weight is 15 kilograms. An ordinary city apartment for the maintenance of caracal is not suitable at all. A large cat needs a large room with a separate area of at least 15 square meters. Caracal needs to move a lot. If your animal is bought in a good cattery and properly raised, it will not give you trouble. Such caracals are balanced in character, obedient, and benevolent towards their owners. By nature, they are very playful and mobile. Be prepared for the fact that a big cat can scratch or chew on furniture, upholstery or wallpaper, or accidentally knock over an object that is unstable in the room. Steppe lynxes, raised from childhood with a person, although independent, like any cat, are very affectionate and loyal. A homely caracal with a stable psyche deliberately never will attack anyone and will not show aggression, but if there are young children in the house, it is better not to start such a large beast. As for the intellect, these animals are very clever. And, of course, before you start such an animal, you need to think 100 times and weigh the pros and cons, as well as really assess your financial and physical abilities. Still, this is a wild animal. Number 3. Raccoon. Are you selfless and fearless? Love spontaneity? Then the raccoon is your choice. Raccoon is a very cunning, intelligent and unusual animal. This is one of the few mammals that can easily descend upside down from a height. And climb any height, crawl into any holes, reach each shelf, so you will only get rest. To keep a raccoon at home, the apartment should be large. Pulaskini night predators and adapt to the lifestyle of the owner only in isolated cases. Of course, this does not mean that your pet will sleep all day long, but at night the activity of the raccoons is very increasing. A domestic raccoon is recommended to equip a separate shelf where the animal can sleep peacefully. Also, you should pay special attention to the food of a raccoon. Wild raccoons are almost omnivorous. Small rodents, frogs, birds, lizards and other animals that do not exceed the size of a raccoon, all this is included in his preferences. Raccoon is not averse to eat nuts, fruits, vegetables, berries, this is the main share of the diet. Domestic raccoons usually contain specialized dry food and of course treats based on the preferences of the pet. To get a raccoon at home is a very important step. According to the behavior, the raccoon resembles a naughty child, only the child will grow up and temperament will change, and the raccoon will remain a bully. Number 2. Hedgehog. Recently, more and more people are choosing hedgehogs as pets. These sweetest, funny little animals hardly anyone indifferent. But hedgehogs are not animals for everyone. Before you make a prickly friend, think carefully about whether this animal really suits you as a pet. It should be noted, firstly, that if you decide to have a hedgehog for a child, then this is not the best choice. In addition, while communicating with a hedgehog, a child may prick, resulting in fright and tears of the child, and possibly an injury to the hedgehog. Hedgehogs, in contrast, for example, from cats, cannot adapt to the mode of the day of their owners. Active life begins with sunset. When you sleep, the hedgehog, without regard to you at all, will go about its business, and is unlikely to do so silently. Letting the hedgehog go around the apartment at night is also not worth it. He can climb into a place where he cannot get out, get tangled in wires, spoil things. Any pet needs attention, whether it be aquarium fish, cats, dogs or hedgehogs. But hedgehogs are very different from the usual four-legged. So, cats and dogs have been living with humans for thousands of years, and African hedgehogs appeared in homes only about 3 decades ago. If you want your hedgehog to be a home pet, and not a wild animal, constantly sniffing and rolling into a thorny ball as a person approaches, you have to spend a lot of time daily throughout his life. In order for the hedgehog to recognize you and get used to your smell, you need at least 30 minutes of contact every day. A hedgehog cannot be approached by dry food alone, this can lead to liver and digestive system diseases. In the diet of a hedgehog as an insectivorous animal, crickets, mealworms, caterpillars, grasshoppers, marble cockroaches, locusts, zoophobus. Therefore, if you are trembling at the sight of insects, then the hedgehog is better not to start. Who are in the first place? Fox. This animal belongs to the dog family, and its fellow is a jackal, a wolf, a dog. But foxes do not live in packs. Many dream of such a red cheat with a gorgeous tail and the habits of cats and dogs. For example, a domestic fox also expresses joy, like a dog, wagging its tail. Of course, a wild fox doesn't wave its tail when meeting you. It is only about home. They also have a good tendency to learn and train. Home fox quietly walks on a leash and harness. It is advisable to display the fox in the late afternoon. This time of day coincides with the natural biological rhythm of the foxes. They are perfectly oriented in the dark. In general, it is a friendly, playful animal that loves to climb into the boxes, run after the ball, and she also likes all the cat toys. She gets along with other pets. Fox does not like loneliness. What to feed the fox? The diet of domestic foxes is high-quality dog food, or meat offal. The character of the fox is distinguished by a love of care and affection. They are very loyal and trusting animals and become attached to their master. If you treat them with love and warmth, they respond to you in return. In no case cannot shout or, worse, beat the animal. They do not forgive insults, do not take revenge and withdraw into themselves. For the fault is better to shame. They perfectly understand the intonation of human speech, like dogs or cats. A fox at home can feel great, it is no worse than the usual pets that we keep in our apartments. Did you like the video? Like, and don't forget to subscribe.